Back again for another episode of the Growing Up Italian podcast. I'm your host, Rocco, and I have three important guests to me because I knew them for a little while now. All Italian, all rocking the GUI merch.
Yeah, all different merch, too.
So real quick, before we start anything, make sure you check out growingupitaliangui.com. Check out the merch section. But without further ado, my three friends here, I want to welcome you guys to the podcast, and feel free to introduce yourselves, starting with my man right here.
My name is Anthony, a.k.a. Tony Guercio.
Tony, he's a returning guest. Some of you know him. He does a lot of editing for us, so yeah. Tony's been with us since day one.
Happy to be back.
Oh, nice. All right, my name's Logan.
My name's Anthony. I'm actually Tony's cousin.
All right.
Yeah, that's how I met these three scoongils, but the stories are long ones, and we'll talk more about that later. But what I really want to talk about today, first and foremost, is just as young, I guess, and ambitious people, it's hard growing up and figuring out what you want to do in life, right?
Yeah.
Just definitely. Like our whole lives until this day, we still don't know what we want to do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I definitely feel that way. I feel like, I call it, and I don't mean to be biased here. I don't mean to be in any way, prejudiced, but I call it the immigrant mentality. And I see it because, our parents and our family came here and they struggled. They struggled with their own businesses. They struggled with kind of surviving to make money. So they sent us to school. They wanted a better future for us. Now, I'm not saying school's not a great option. I think it is, but school's not for everyone, and some professional careers not for everyone. So that's just my opinion. I mean, I gotta say, you gotta like what you do, but it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. So Logan, you're about to graduate with your master's, right?
Cannot wait.
Do you know the next step now?
No clue. Zero clue.
How many of us had that same mentality?
I don't even know what I'm doing for dinner tonight, dude. I swear to God, I have no idea what I'm doing, man.
And you're still in college.
Yeah, I'm about to be a senior after this semester ends, and I plan on going for my master's. So take it one step at a time. After that, who knows?
So what's your major right now?
Business management, and then I'm looking to go for marketing management.
All right.
I'm sorry, the microphone it's killing me, bro.
Hold it up, baby. Hold it up.
It looks like he's giving like a speech.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
Yeah, so we had one of the stands broke on the way here, so Anthony's managing like a champ, right?
It's like he's about to be American Idol over here.
Yeah, he's currently holding his mic in his hand, but nonetheless, yeah, not too long ago, I didn't know what I wanted to do either, and to be fair, like I'm still not entirely sure either. But it's funny because I also had a business management degree. As Anthony, I graduated college 2 years ago, and I found myself in the education department, Yeah. So it's weird how all four of us here, in a way, had the same mentality, and we all have different careers in minds, but we're not even entirely sure if that's the exact career.
And I gotta say, shout out to Rock for 4 years in St. Francis. He helped me pass school, so
college is fun.
My last name is Guercio. Rocco's last name is Lo Guercio, so we always were sitting next to each other in class, even if they see us alphabetically. I mean, most professors didn't, but we really sat there, and Rocco definitely helped. And like I said, it's good to know what you're doing, but that's the thing. It's hard to figure out where you got to go. And I remember Rock was dev smarter than me and everything, and I ended up doing business. And but again, it's all what you like to do. You know what I mean? I think that's a huge factor to your career.
Right, and I think where I want to transition this a little bit is the fact of what do we give some advice to people that aren't really sure what they want to do, going through what we've been through so far. And of course, like I said, some of us don't even know right now, right?
Yeah.
But if we could give some advice to the younger people listening, because we do have a lot of young listeners, and I'm sure they don't know where exactly they want to go with their career, like what advice would we want to give them?
My professor told me this. She always told me, even if you don't know what you want to do, always find out what you don't want to do. So try to start cutting your list down.
Really
That's good.
And have you cut any out, for sure?
I cut out a couple of things. I first was undecided going into college. I was thinking of going maybe down the medical track. And I decided against that, and I went into business. And now everybody says, what do you feel like you're going to do in the future? And I'm like, well, I'm going through the classes. I took finance, economics, marketing, etc. And I just found the ones that I loved, and I'm sticking with those. So,
how about you, Logan?
That's great, man. Well, considering I have no clue what I'm doing, I don't know. You know what? The way I see it is, you kind of, if I've learned anything over even through high school, through college, through now graduate school, it's that, I don't know. I'm a really strong believer that there's got to be more to life than just waking up every day, sitting in traffic on the way to work, working from 9 to 5, sitting in traffic on the way home, taking a shower, eating dinner, go to sleep, rinse, repeat. Like, you gotta, no matter what your career takes you, and no matter what track you're on, you gotta find the time to do the things that you enjoy. You know?
Absolutely.
Whether that's like Xbox with you guys, or
Yeah.
you know,
Hanging
just hanging
out,
out on a Friday night, or going to the bars, like whatever it is. Like, you gotta make sure you have those times to do what you want to do. You know, it doesn't all have to be work, no play.
I love that you said that, because I'm one that always has a mentality where, yeah, I'm gonna work, but at the end of the day, I want at least 1 to 2 hours doing what I love and I enjoy, or else what's the point of living? You know, if you don't have the point, if you're just miserable all day, you're going to work, and unfortunately, it has to pay the bills. Some people work doubles, triples, So I respect that, but is that the way to live? And in this day and age, in New York City especially,
very difficult.
It's tough, man. Sabino was on a podcast with Mas and Matt Labrie, and they're talking about how they need $2,000 a week to manage. Yeah. In this day and age, like $2,000 a week, so that's $8,000 a month, and that'll help you survive with a family. Like, a lot of jobs don't pay $2,000 a week. You know what I mean? Yeah. So a lot of these people that are in college, they're coming out of college. First of all, the jobs are not even there. As much as we want to say, oh yeah, they are there, but nobody wants to work retail when you go to school for go to college for 6 straight years. Yeah. You get a master's degree to work in retail. I understand you get a little money in your pocket, but at the same time, you need a bona fide career, but also one that pays. So how do you find that balance? I'm sure you guys are nervous sitting at the table. I'm still a little nervous with the future. We're worried about, one day we want to have families. We have to support. Of course, yeah. Exactly. So how are we going to support off a job that doesn't give you that $2,000 a week, Scary, and doing what you love at the same time? So it kind of feels impossible at times, and you get anxiety, I would say.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily impossible. I think, especially here in New York City, I think there was a podcast you guys did, like, about hustling. Mm-hmm. Like, that's really one of the most truest podcasts I've ever heard in my entire life. You gotta keep hustling. Like, to live in New York City, you don't have one job. If you have one job, you're right. Either you're gonna be miserable or broke. You literally have to go and find other sources of income. And on that same basis, right? Like, I don't know who knows or not, but, like, myself personally, I'm a musician. I'm a producer, I'm a DJ, and I've been doing that now, playing music since I was like 9, 10 years old. Growing up all my life, I wanted to do something with music. Realistically speaking about it, what's the chances, right? What's the chance of sitting there, getting noticed, having your music out there? So what did I do? I did not an honorable thing, but I did the thing that most people do. I got a job at, in a corporate setting, but that's still my side hustle. If someone needs music, I'll deliver what needs to be done and get paid for it. It's an extra source of income. So, in my opinion, that's the way definitely to make it in New York. You need a side hustle. Definitely.
Yeah. So I love that you do that, because it's something you're passionate about and it's a way to get revenue out of it.
Right.
And the way I look at it is, I have a full-time job, but at the same time, I'm doing something I enjoy. There's nights where I play Xbox with you guys, and I don't care how old you get. Video games will all go back to it.
Yeah, it's always a good time. Yeah.
Even those watching, like, oh, these kids play video games, but
it's always fun to start screaming at each other.
Well, you got Twitch, and you could get big playing games nowadays.
Look at Ninja making how much a month?
Millions.
Donations. It's crazy. Like that would have been the dream. I should have done that when I was in high school.
I wish we were smart enough to do that back in high
having
school.
Purple hair, this Cracker Jack makes millions.
Hey, to each his own. There's a lot of streamers and stuff like that.
Sure.
But growing up Italian to me has always been a passion to me, and it's amazing how big the community has gotten. Amazing how many supporters I have. Especially, May 12th's a big day for me.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Can't wait.
I can't wait for that, yeah.
Doing Italian Heritage Day at City Field.
That's huge.
And I'm glad all three of you are going to be able to make it, bringing your families. It means from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. And if you are listening, to those listening, May 12th, you know how to throw this in there. City Field, Italian Heritage Day.
Birch plug.
Gotta come out. You gotta come out. You gotta come. You gotta grab a shirt.
Everybody purchasing through the link is going to get a Forza Met shirt in gray with the green, white, green. I'm getting too excited talking about it. The green, white, and red colors on the shirt. It's an awesome shirt.
Yeah.
It's going to be a section filled out all for Italian. Well, for anybody coming that purchases through the link, And like I said, I got my boys with me, helping support. So I appreciate you guys for coming out to that.
Of
I'm
course.
excited to see that like sea of Italians and right by the Big Apple.
Yeah, I know.
They should bring
that's
like
gonna
the
be
Italian
fun.
flag. You know, how they do
We
that
should
with the
bring like
soccer
a
game?
huge flag.
You gotta
that'd be
see
really
that
cool.
right on TV too.
I gotta look into the legality of that.
Yeah,
because
I probably would not.
I'm
go
not
over
sure
well.
if
I don't know.
the city field allows like any big flags like that to obstruct any view, but that would be pretty dope.
That'd be good.
But yeah, what were we talking about? Video games, just finding what you love, finding what you love.
I mean, and then again, I go back to that basis. Like, yeah, you definitely need to do something you love. Because I agree with what Logan was saying before. If you sit in your life working till Friday and working for Friday, because I've been in this scenario. I've been in a position where, you know, it's Monday and you're miserable, and then come, you know, Thursday you're happy, and then Friday it's like you're the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
Yeah.
And then Saturday hits and it's the most perfect day you've ever seen because you don't have to do nothing, no worries. And then Sunday comes and the cycle repeats. I mean, you definitely need to find the passion that you can sit there and take the pressure off. And, you know, like everyone's here saying, Xbox is definitely one for us. Hanging out like this is definitely one. Whatever you find that makes you happy, you got to do. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. That's the basis of all this. But if I had to give some advice to those that are younger and they're looking at what they want to do and not really sure, my advice to you is, I'm going to get a little critiqued here from what I'm going to say because I know there's a lot of passionate times here, but the pressure that your parents put on you, use that only to fuel you, but not to enrage you.
Yeah.
And when I say that is, don't start panicking like, oh, because a lot of our parents say, oh, when I was your age, I was doing this.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you.
Millionaires an hour.
When I was younger, I used to always put pressure on myself to just be the best I can be, and that's fine. But
Right.
you shouldn't have to bring yourself down
Right.
because we're just a different generation. It's a different day and age. And I know they're going to say, oh, that's the common excuse. But is it really?
No, I don't think.
It's just a whole new world now. We can't really... That pressure that was being put on us only made us want to work harder, of
Right.
course, for me at least. And I appreciate the pressure, but it can be overwhelming. So if you are overwhelmed, just relax.
Yeah, take
Literally
a step
just trust the
back, you know.
process.
Yeah.
You have to be calm with these things. You can't
True.
feel like, you know, the weight's on your shoulders. Listen, we're all living with our families right now. We're not paying no
Yeah.
rent. Thank God. Knock on wood. We have
Yeah,
great
for
families
real.
for that.
Sure.
I'm very appreciative of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, we're all going to want to move out one day, you know, create our own families. That's normal.
Right.
Go with the flow. Just relax. Everything's going to fall into place, I promise. And for you two both, like, even for Tony, even
Yeah.
for myself, we don't know what the future holds.
Yeah,
So
it's
just
true.
hold on to what you can tightly, like the memories we have, the fun moments in life. Just cherish those moments because one day,
Yeah.
you know, I seen a meme and I know I sent it to you guys. It was like, and that was the last day that they hung out at the
Yeah,
park,
that's
and they
the
didn't even know
worst,
it.
man.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the
awful.
worst feeling.
That's
So cherish
bad.
these moments, you know, cherish your youth. It's only up from there, and just so long as you keep your mind on the right line, on the right task, you'll get
Yeah.
there. You'll
I
get there.
agree.
Be hungry,
Yeah.
but don't starve.
and if you're young out there and you're watching this, like, you know, I'm talking about any age under 18. I wish I go to those days.
Yeah,
Guys,
yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna cut you off. Who would go back
Absolutely.
to being 18 again? And
Oh,
Anthony's not.
I
too
can't
far
wait
off.
for 21. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, he's 20, I forgot.
I feel like if I always
Oh,
would say
man.
this, but if I could relive like high school per
Yeah,
se,
yeah.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Senior year in
Yeah.
high school, I would jump right back
Can you
into
imagine
it.
reliving high school with
Oh,
the
I
knowledge that
wish.
you have now?
Oh, I wish.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, okay, yeah. I
was an
think I'd
idiot.
go
I was
back
an
to that
idiot.
too,
I'd be-
honestly.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
I was an
man.
idiot back then.
Holy crap.
Listen,
that's.
I also
It is
do-
what it is. Live and learn, right?
I also do feel like, though, this generation of kids in high school are way more mature than we were.
Think?
Yeah, I mean,
Looks wise, or like
both. I mean,
maturity in age.
yeah, maturity. I mean,
Or in-
what they're doing. I mean, listen, you know, it's what I'm seeing. Like, you know, taking the train to work, and you're seeing these kids and the way they're talking, the way they're acting. I mean, even the music they're listening to, like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I listen, you know, obviously we all did stupid shit. Okay, we all did stuff we weren't supposed to do. We all, you know, listened to music we weren't supposed to listen to. But for these kids to advertently listen to it on the way to school and blasting out there, and there's so many different levels of maturity that I see versus then when I was in high school. Well, how do you guys feel about that? You feel like the youth's a little more mature now?
I mean, I definitely see your point, and I could definitely agree to it. It's just I'm not sure if it's maybe they're more mature or maybe they just look bigger to me because you know.
They're huge.
So they're all of them are big, but a lot of them bring up great points. I just think social media and the internet has a lot to do with
yeah.
it. You know, the exposure to that, and you know, they could read an article and sound intelligent in that subject matter, but you don't really know if there's any truth behind that. You know, we know better than to look at the internet and be like, oh, yo, guys, can you believe this happened? We'll research it. We'll do further research on it, and then we'll talk about it. A lot of these people, they see things like, yo, I can't believe this. Like, yo, what are you talking about? That page is fake.
We didn't grow up with this stuff. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I remember my first cell phone was a flip phone.
So was mine.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure everybody's here was a flip phone.
How old were you when you got one? Do you remember?
7th grade.
7th grade? Yeah,
that was in like 8th grade.
Yeah.
I only got it because I got lost and my mom was freaking out. That's the only reason why I got a cell phone. Because, where are you?
Shout out to the Sidekick.
That's the Italian moms right there.
That was the game changer, was the Sidekick. I remember when that phone came out, that's when I started to see the technological revolution actually hit our hands. Like, I saw that people back then only used cell phones for calls, but then once you had a Sidekick, you had, I think it was called AIM, right? Or was that on
AOL? Yeah, it's AOL.
AIM,
I have
right?
a Sidekick.
AIM, yeah. AOL
You
Messenger.
could put a status up.
Yeah, that was the
big time.
Sidekick. Like I remember that was really like, oh, BBM. Yeah, shout out to BBM. You guys still remember your ID
Pins?
number?
I have
Your
no
pins?
idea.
Nah, I forgot mine.
I still use
228-628 or something like that. I don't know.
I think mine was like 2279463. I think something like that.
Adam on
Adam on
BBM.
BBM.
That was a game changer. But yeah, I definitely, and I agree with the social media aspect. But like even coming on like a subject like sneakers, right? Like I've been into sneakers for a while now. And back then, you only knew about a pair. There were only a couple sites where you could go on, right? You go on Sneaker News, Complex started getting into what's coming out. Now, the minute a pair of sneakers comes out, or like a pair of, a clothing item comes out, like Supreme also, for example. Like, social media brought this larger than life itself. Like I said, back then, when a pair of sneakers came out, even if it was limited, you saw a minor resale value because, again, there was only a small community. But with social media expanding and branching out, we're connected all over the world now. There's no such thing as a little community. We're all a huge world at this point.
Yeah, and I see that firsthand with Grown Up Italian.
Yeah.
How many people connect to Grown Up Italian from Australia?
Yeah, all over the world.
New Zealand.
It's
It's
crazy.
absolutely from Africa, from South Africa.
Crazy.
It's from Asia. Some like I have like a few followers from Beijing. I'm like, wow.
Really? That's cool.
That's so cool.
Beijing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
But just the demographics of everything. Social media definitely connects the world.
Yeah.
And, I think we got to see it flourish.
Yeah.
I think we got the best of it.
We were
Our
in
age
that
group,
sweet spot.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't grow up with it. We were young enough
we saw it, yeah, we saw it
to
from-
go outside, have a good time,
Yeah.
I
play
miss
with your
that.
friends. We grew up in the perfect age where we had that, and then once we hit like 14, 15, then we got a little more exposure to it, but we didn't feed off of that. In school, we're still doing our research papers in books and textbooks.
Yeah.
Not on the internet, you know what I mean?
No, we
So-
definitely, we came at the right time because I feel like we have like the knowledge of it, but we're not consumed by it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like the younger generations, they're like consumed. Like this is
Yeah.
all they do. Like my cousins, they're like what, like 4, 6 years old, and they're like they know how to work an iPad.
Right.
Coming out of the womb, like it's crazy. And like, but we know how to work it as well. But it's like we know, like we can cut ourselves off. You know what I
We
mean?
started
I
with
think that's-
iPods.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for real. iPod. What was it? Like the original, the hefty one.
The small one too.
Nano.
The
I had
Nano.
Yeah, shout out to the
I
Nano.
had a lot. I had a
Apple's
lot of them.
killing it for years.
Look, there's an iPod Nano right there. You see it? Grab that.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Look at that, yeah.
Yeah. I had the exact
Shout out
one.
to my dad. He doesn't want to put music on his phone.
No me importa niente.
Mine was
Yeah,
green though.
Yeah, I love that old school mentality though. He believes that putting music on his phone is gonna destroy it, so he walks around
Yeah.
with. I gotta tell you, that charger broke one time. We went all over New York City to find a charger for that thing.
Yeah, everything gets replaced so easily though. It's so hard to find any old stuff,
Yeah.
especially for iPhones. But it's just amazing how this world goes. And I want to mention another piece of advice, and that is, and you guys could definitely agree with me. I know I'm going back to the career and all that stuff, but this one I really should have hit before. It's the fact that you can't look at other people.
I agree, 100%.
You cannot look at other
100%.
people, especially when you have a friend that's a genius. And
Yeah.
shout out to Sal,
Yeah.
future mayor one day.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah, you. I mean, yeah.
puts a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah.
stay in your lane, relax. It's gonna go. It's gonna go well for you too.
I think at the point you were saying before, like everything's gonna fall into place. Like, listen, guys. When I first graduated college, I had no sort of business experience in my entire life. Literally, I worked in a sneaker store. I worked with these guys at Citi Field.
Yep.
I had no sort of experience, and the industry that I got into is extremely difficult. But, you know, you guys just got to keep pushing. If you're hungry, a door's going to open up. And if there's not a door, you create one and you walk through it. That's my opinion.
There's a will, there's a way. You got to find the way. Let's transition a little bit to just Italian in general. So I know where you guys are from, but tell the viewers a little about your background. You know, you don't have to get into it much, but most of you know that me, Sabino, Miguel, we come from small towns in Salerno. We take a lot of pride and passion in that. Southern Italy. A lot of hard-headed people there. A lot of hard manual labor that I appreciate that my ancestors did. So I'm very prideful in my background. Go ahead, Ann. You can speak for yourself.
Yeah, so my dad and Tony's mom, my aunt, are brother and sister. That side of my family is from Partana. And the other side of my family, my mom's side, is from Castellammare del Golfo.
Beautiful.
And I'm really proud of my heritage, being both American and Italian because I was born here. I love to celebrate both.
Yeah,
it's like the best of both worlds, you know.
Yeah, it can't get any better than this, honestly.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's the truth.
That's
Logan, where's your family from?
My family,
you told me before.
We're all from the north, man. Like Genoa.
High class, huh?
No, definitely not. This is why I'm so pale, though.
You don't got that
all
skin?
northern Italy. Genoa, all that kind of that region.
Milan, Torino.
Yep.
Definitely not high class, huh?
No, definitely not.
Desgraziado.
Not at all, I promise.
Well, yeah, same thing as Anthony was saying. My mom's from Partana. It's a small town.
It's beautiful over there, right?
It's not, I mean, Partana, it's in the mountainside, so, you know.
Where's your dad's side is beautiful?
My dad is from Mazzara, which is it's in Trapani, all the way in the west end, and it's right by the water. It's beautiful. That's a big city. But, you know, Partana, you know, you get those small towns. Everyone's a cousin, you know.
Yeah.
Cousins marry each other. It's, you know, Partana is a little, I mean, it's beautiful. It is nice. It's a lot of heritage, but you got some crazy fellas over there.
Yeah, if you guys are listening, you got to go to Italy. Like,
Yeah,
I try and go every year with my family. I know Tony does.
Yeah.
Anthony hasn't been there for a while.
Yeah, been, man.
But
Still haven't
Logan
been.
either.
Yeah, you gotta,
yeah, for you two both. I should be speaking to you two, especially. But it's just
study abroad. That's one of my regrets.
Yeah,
too.
if you're in college, definitely study abroad.
Yeah,
More advice:
absolutely.
study abroad in
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
It's a good experience. But going to Italy is just so refreshing. It gives you a step back from the New York lifestyle. And I don't know, you just see where your roots are from, and you just become more appreciative of everything.
I think, as you were saying before, the people out there, it's like quick story. You know, I went to go visit my aunt. That last time I seen her was 5 years old, right? So I went to Italy with my parents and my girlfriend 3 years ago, and I saw my aunt. The last time I saw her was 5 years old, and you know, she comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, you lost so much weight." This lady doesn't have Facebook, nothing. She's literally 93 years old, and I was like, "Well, you know, how'd you know about that?" And my dad would send her photos of me. And
through the mail?
Through the mail. She literally had, and I'm telling you, I went to tears.
That's so beautiful.
I was like, this lady, she has never even spoken to me.
Wow.
And since I was 5, and she knows my whole life. And, you know, it makes you step back and think, like, wow, all this busy stuff that's going on in my life, I don't appreciate the little things that come with family and, you know, the beauty of family.
Family's everything, man.
Yeah.
We know that to the tree. And I know Logan's like the biggest family man I ever met.
I agree.
Like everything you do is like for your family.
Yeah,
you know,
of course,
I respect
man.
it so
I have a very
much.
small family, so I feel like it not only does the Italian culture rub off, you know, and that we were talking about this the other day too.
Yeah.
How just like Italians, man, the family, the love you have for your family is just like unmatched.
Unbearable,
you know, like it really is. You know,
Yeah.
the length you would go for these, it's just incredible.
It's
and
crazy.
And for me, I have such a small family that it's like you know, amplified even further. So it's I know I love them, man. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
can't imagine where I'd be without my family. You know,
For sure. And I don't know, it brought us here today. I love how we're all here, and there's times where me, Tony, and Anthony speak Italian. Logan understands a little bit, but he's understood more as we go.
I tell people I speak situational Italian because I can tell, like, when you guys are talking crap about me in video games.
No.
I did something because I messed up, and then you're like, "Oh, disgrazia." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I get that."